Sigarda Font of Blessings is a 4-mana 4/4 flying angel in Selesnya colors that protects most of your stuff with hexproof from targeted removal while potentially getting you creatures from the top of your library. Her effect may sound really strong, but be aware that it's also a very big limitation on which cards we can actually play. You're forced into a tribal strategy to make use of her card advantage, and even with the high creature count, you may be stuck with lands or the few instants and sorceries that we run on top of your library. But let's talk about her color identity first. I find it quite annoying that there isn't any angel in green other than the Sigarda variants herself, which should be auto-includes. But honestly, green and white are home to some of the best human creatures out there, and white is the prime color for angels, so there's quite the pool of creatures to choose from, all things considered. And green also gives us amazing ramp to actually cast those huge flyers late game. Ramp cards include things like Nature's Law, Rampant Growth and Cultivate, while artifacts like Sol Ring and Arcane Signet are pretty good inclusions too, since our commander gives those permanent hexproof as well, which makes them quite sturdy. The ramp package ensures that paying 6 to 7 mana for a big splashy angel is easily achievable, often with mana to spare. This makes cards like Sarah's Emissary or Sapphire Skyblade very playable, even if you have to pay the full 7 mana for the latter. Honestly, I think the biggest strength of the deck is how persistent the deck can be. You can react to a lot of scenarios with cards like Sunblast Angel to get rid of tapped, often pretty strong creatures. You can reassign attackers with Windshaper Planeta, which is just some amazing chaos. Or you can prevent damage with Selfless Squire and have a handy 10/10 or something your next turn. The versatility and decision making is just so much fun here, and you're just such a hard player to get rid of. Cards with scrying are actually pretty good filters here, and since we're only 2 colors we can easily include lands like Crystal Grotto or Bonders Enclave, and in addition we can manipulate the top of our library with Mazemind Tome and Lifecrafter's Bestiary. The latter may not be very effective at scrying for us, as it happens at the beginning of our upkeep, but drawing a card with it after you've cast a creature from top of your library is just amazing card advantage. To further reduce our chances of hitting lands on top, we also run cards like Myriad Landscape, Cross and Verge and Burnished Hart to thin our decks of lands and to increase the creature ratio of the deck, thus increasing the chance that our top of library is immediately castable by our commander. In terms of weaknesses, I'd say the biggest one is that the deck is playing really fair magic. The deck is strong, it's reliable, but there aren't any explosive combos that suddenly overwhelm your opponents. Plus, the way the deck works right now, you're relying on combat damage to win, which is something other decks may be more capable of. We could potentially include wincons like Approach of the Second Sun, Aetherflux Reservoir or Felidar Sovereign, but I'd make that dependent on the playgroup and the decks you play against. And while this isn't a deck you bring to a tournament, this is certainly a deck that packs a punch, and it's just so incredibly fun to play just because most cards in here go together so well. In terms of the overall power level, I'd say you can easily fight other precons or even slightly upgraded ones and emerge victorious. However, combo focused or highly optimized decks that end games relatively fast consistently are a big hoop you may not be able to jump through. But those decks are often far outside of the budget range of this deck anyway. In terms of upgrades, there are plenty. Esper Sentinel, Avacyn Angel of Hope, Resplendent Angel and basically all the way too expensive angels could be included here. However, these easily double or triple the cost of this deck. All things considered, I can only urge you to try Sigarda, as she's just incredibly fun to pilot and between other decks of her price range. Plus, take like the 5 most expensive cards out and you can shrink yourself to the price of a precon very much. Thank you for watching and until next time.